Get ready for the stick. Okay?
Okay, Swami.
Hmm. I have told you already that when I was a teenager, then even before that I used to read comics about especially great people born in India. Many of them were enlightened. And then when I was a teenager, then I used to be in depression for maybe about on average 10 days a month. Not that it is something calculated, but and then I would always think of committing suicide. Then I read Vivekananda's a small booklet of quotation, and in which it was written that a cow never commits any sin, or the wall never commits any sin, but they will always remain a cow or a wall. Man can commit sin, but he has the possibility and potential to be divine. I'm not quoting exactly what he said, but then I felt very much relieved, and I felt like I should dedicate my life to this man. Because I used to think that I have committed some sin which was not much, but if you are sensitive, then even if you have done something wrong, even small things, it will always hound you. So after that I started reading books from Ramakrishna Mission. Then I read about Buddha. I had read before also in comic book, but then I read what Vivekananda has said about Buddha, and then I read his life. Then I read biography of Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramhans, and I feel that I was most touched by the life of Buddha. Then one day this insight came that because if you have to live in this world, everyone has to do some work. Without work you cannot exist. So I decided that I will be doing something which will be similar to what Buddha did or what Vivekananda did. The same kind of life that I will just... I thought that if first thing is that my inner darkness has to be removed. Once the darkness is removed, then I will be of some service to the world. And it was all because when you are in darkness, when you are in inner darkness, so whatever light comes to you, it's also just a flash of light. And whatever you are doing in that state of darkness, is also you are in a way conditioning yourself or programming yourself that the way they lived, the way Buddha lived, the way Krishna lived, or the way Ramakrishna lived, or Vivekananda lived. These are the. So in a state of inner darkness, whatever you are going to do, you will be conditioning yourself in certain ways. You will be like imitating Buddha or Christ. There is a book also, Imitation of Christ. So, but I felt that their life, the life of these people are meaningful. In their life there is compassion, there is feeling, there is aliveness. Otherwise, if you don't feel, then you are a dead person. And I could see, even if I was in dark night of my soul, but I could see that there is so much suffering in the world. And to get a job or anything is not going to remove any suffering. It is neither going to remove your suffering or the suffering of anyone else. At the maximum, it is going to fill your belly. It is going to give you bread and butter. But your own psychological state will be the same. It may be even worse, because once you join some job, once you are part of some organization, or you are part of some office, then you are just their servant. So you will have to wear mask upon mask. You have to say yes sir to those people whom you know that they are perfect idiots. And in that environment, you will go on collecting more and more darkness. You will be even more your conditioning will become even deeper. And then there will be almost no way to come out of it. And life is very short. And I was not healthy at all when I was a child, when I was young. So I used to feel that I am not going to live for long. So if I have a very small life, then what is the point to first have your own bank balance and you become rich? So I felt that if first thing is to remove my inner darkness. Once my inner darkness is removed, I will help others to remove their inner darkness. And they will at least provide me with my whatever is my need. That was my feeling at that time. The world cannot be so cruel. Because if you are reading books of Buddha and books of their biography, you are projecting what is inside you. And I have read that there were many times when Vivekananda had to go on speaking for 2-3 nights together, and no one was asking them for food. No one was asking him for food. Then someone who was called untouchable, because in India at those time, those who were called untouchable, you cannot eat from their hand and drink from the water they will bring. But there was one man who saw that people were just so selfish that they wanted their problem to be solved, and they were not even seeing that he has not eaten anything for 2-3 nights. Then this man was observing it. Then when in the middle of the night, when there was no one, he said that, Swamiji, I could see that you have not eaten for 2-3 days, and but I am an untouchable, I am an achut. So how can I give you food? And I have very little bit of my food is very simple. but I cannot see. I cannot. It's it is becoming very troublesome for me. I feel very helpless. So, can I give you food? Can I offer you water? Vivekanand said, certainly, why not? And that man gave him the food. And he said that even if Indra was to give me food, I would not have rejoiced it that much which I felt after eating from his hand and drinking from his hand, because that was a pure offer of love. And then he was so much hungry, so much thirsty. And when you are really hungry, even very simple food will taste like as if it is something divine. So I knew even those things, that in this world it is quite a cruel world, but I felt that I have to trust existence. But if I become interested in first getting some job, then I may not have any energy left afterwards to know myself. And I could see that I have a home where at least they will give me food, though very unwillingly. So I thought this is right time. I have this opportunity. I don't have to worry about food, so I can just turn in. I should observe my mind and see from where these problems have come and what is there any way out or not. Is there anything beyond your thoughts, feeling, mood and all those things which are like cloud, which creates a confused state within you? Is there anything where there is a clarity, where there is light or not? So then my journey began, and then when later on when I came to Osho, then I understood that meditation is the way. And bookish knowledge and information is of no help in knowing yourself. It can be little bit of help, like you need a map to go somewhere, or it is like a milestone. Some indications are there, but you cannot be dependent on books to know yourself. So I packed up all my books. So slowly my darkness started disappearing. And then later on I came to a state where I felt that I can be of some help. In the beginning I was taking meditation camps, but then there was too much opposition from my parents, especially my father. Then I just let go of it. Then I found few individuals. I thought that this is a better way to give total time to some people. So the English woman was one of them. Then you came. In the beginning, you needed much attention. That was necessary because you were very heavily programmed and conditioned, and then you had got no love in your life, so someone was needed to give you much attention. And in the beginning, you were quite sincere, but later on, your sincerity was not increasing in that. It should have been increasing more. But then you became like quite lukewarm. So but for me, I cannot stop anywhere if there is no one who is really sincere. And those people who are with Osho has said, because don't be serious. So the most of the people have even stopped being sincere, because there is a subtle difference. And most of the people who are with Osho, they are like, for them pleasure is all. They are just seeking their own pleasure. Osho had tremendous insight. He could see that if you have not even understood your biology, if you have not even known what sex is, and if you have not lived it totally, it will be very difficult to know what love is, to know what prayer is. So he was all for knowing the opposite sex in totality, so that you can go beyond it. It's not that he was interested only that you get entrenched or you get involved only in sex and then later on in love, of the kind of love which happens between man and woman. But you can move only step by step, or you can be very sincere in your own individual meditation. Then slowly you will know what your needs are. But if a person is not sincere, then you will remain where you started, or it will be just merry-go-round. You're moving round and round. There is only two ways. Either you can surrender to your ego or you can surrender to the master. If you surrender to the ego, your inner cancer will go on increasing till one day it will become a terminal cancer. Or if you are surrendered to a master, then one day there is a possibility you will discover your own inner master. And then you will know that both are same, because master is not a form. He may be functioning through the form, but where it is directed, where it is indicated, is not a form. It is this formless consciousness, this witnessing, pure witnessing consciousness. But if you are not intense about it, if you are not totally sincere about it, how can you ever know it yourself? And one has to be aware that if meditation is not the way of our life, then The only other way will be conflict, war, and destruction. But we are so blind, we don't see what is happening. When Corona happened, most of the people learned no lesson. It can be natural, it can be biological weapon also. But in both the way, how the whole world, how the governments of the world performed and what they did, what WHO did, what media did, it shows that these people are completely blind. These people are totally unconscious. They have no love for life. They have no reverence for life. What they are interested in is their own power and their own money. They are so cruel and they are so insensitive that just to have more and more money and power, they can destroy the whole world. Their only interest is that they should become more powerful, they should become richer and richer. It makes no difference whether the whole world remains or die. If they survive, then they don't care. This is a reality. It's not that I'm exaggerating. And this is what this Bitta Karate, the video which I sent you of the Kashmiri terrorist, when he was asked that because he said, I was just following the orders of my bosses. They said kill this person, I would kill. And he said, when he was asked how many people you have killed, he said maybe 20. And I think he was just making it very small. He may have killed in hundreds. And then he was asked that if your boss was going to tell you to kill your mother, will you kill? You would have killed her? He said yes, without any hesitation. And if your boss had asked you to kill your brother, he said yes. So these people are totally brainwashed. They think they are following some religion. These are all your invention. How can there be any Allah or God or Bhagwan who is so idiotic and so cruel that he can tell you that you kill other people and that will give you heaven, that will make you religious? But once you are conditioned, once you are hypnotized, you lose all your intelligence. Then you have no ability to see. You are just following the orders. And in the name of an invisible God or in the name of some holy book, you can be exploited very easily. But why you are doing all these kind of things? It is because of your own greed. It is because of your own fear. You want to go to heaven. So to go to heaven, you will do anything. And because of the fear which is within you, you can kill, you can murder, you can rape. And these people have illusion that they are religious. They are worse than demons. They are the ugliest people. Now you see what is happening in this Ukraine and Russia war. Most of all the cities of Ukraine are totally destroyed. But we have become so unintelligent. We are so lost. We are such nincompoops that we cannot even think, we cannot even contemplate what kind of people we have given power to rule our life. Are they mature people? Are they grown up, or they are mustache babies? And they are so destructive for their own whim and fancy, for their own sick egoistic desire, for their own greed for power, for their own obsessions. They can destroy cities after cities. Everything is destroyed in those cities. These cities are just reduced to rubbles, ashes. Nothing remains there. But what right these people have to destroy which they cannot create? But we think that Putin is Rasputin and Putin is putting this world into danger. But Biden is even greater burden on this world. He is far more ugly. He wants to rule the whole world. This is American obsession that they want to control the whole world. And in trying to control the whole world, to have the master key of the whole world, they can do anything. This conflict could have been very easily avoided, but it is all created by America and this ugly monster called Biden. This sleepy person, this mentally sick person. But if people don't become meditative, then these kind of people will go on growing. I know that this is not going to happen. It is very, because the whole world is so asleep. It is in such a darkness that they cannot they are not at all ready for any message. They are not at all ready for truth. They are ready to be destroyed. They are ready to be annihilated. But they don't want to change. They don't want to transform themselves. And the way we have sold ourselves for just for jobs, just for bread and butter, we have sold our soul so cheaply that if my life is comfortable, I don't care. If I have a pleasurable life, then it makes no difference to me whether the world survives or it dies. My pleasure is everything. My comfort is everything. And you are such an idiot that you can't see that how long you are going to be here. It's a fleeting dream. Every moment you are disappearing like a dewdrop. But we don't want to see. We want to remain an ostrich. Like an ostrich. If at least some people don't decide to be sincere, to be honest, to be authentic, then this world is totally doomed. That is what U.G. Krishnamurti said. The moment this divisive consciousness was born, the doom of this earth was sealed. So we all think we are separate. I have my own personal existence. You are part of the tree, like leaves are part of the tree. Your happiness is dependent upon if the roots of the tree is nourished, then only you will remain alive. If you are just thinking that I will make my own life safe, even if the whole world dies, I have to just go on collecting more and more money. I have to be in a condominium which is like bulletproof and atom bomb proof. Then who cares? This is the whole American attitude. They are not at all concerned whether the world remains or dies. They are only concerned about their own consumption. They want to consume the whole world. They want to devour the whole world. They are obsessed with their body. Obsessed with their greed. That's why they go on producing people, those who, their rulers are like monkeys, like apes, like chimpanzees. And it is the same almost with all politicians from each and every country. If you see my place, it is slowly losing all prana energy. It is going to be a dead place. But those who are rulers, the chief minister and people like all those who are ruling this state, they are absolute donkeys. They don't have any intelligence. Their only interest is to remain in power somehow. But who has put them in power? It is because we are totally indifferent. Whatever happens, I don't care. As long as I can have a comfortable life, why should I worry? But your comfort is not going to remain long. This is an interdependent world. Whatever is happening in Ukraine is going to influence the whole world, is going to affect the whole world. Whatever happens in Afghanistan, you cannot remain untouched by it, unaffected by it. But for that, some intelligence is needed, some space is needed, some emptiness is needed. Otherwise, all the time, if you are occupied in your slavery, how you will know anything? But we are so satisfied, like a fool satisfied, like an animal satisfied. Then how you can be a Socrates? It is better to be Socrates dissatisfied than to be a fool satisfied. It is better to be a man dissatisfied than to be a pig satisfied.
Even Chinese, all their technology is all stolen. So
Yeah, you said
in
that.
India,
Mhm.
the Indian politicians were mostly interested only in hoarding money themselves and for their family. And these Chinese politicians, they wanted to be most powerful. If you want to be powerful, then you have to be technologically advanced also. Otherwise, how you can become powerful? If you want to rule the whole world, then you need technology. You need a very powerful army. So for all those things, you need your own technology. So at least they have, for that they have developed their country. Not that they were very much interested in the well-being of the people. They were interested only in their own power. So whatever was needed to be powerful, they did. They give that much to the people so that they can remain asleep. They will not revolt. Otherwise, don't think that these politicians, they are themselves blind, they are themselves sick. How can you expect that they will spread happiness and they will spread positive vibe and they will spread light in the whole world? They are themselves in darkness. And even to suffer loneliness and trying to know oneself is better than to be preoccupied with stupid people.
Yes, Swami, yes.
Once you are awake, then you will know that there is almost no one with whom you can have friendship.
Yes.
Because everyone is dreaming. So where you will find the person with whom you can share yourself? Everyone is a slave. Everyone is a slave of his instinct. Everyone is a slave of his habits. Everyone is slave of his addiction. Everyone is slave of his ambitions. So where you will find the right person? When I speak all those things, I want it to be shared so that it's not that it should not be a personal thing only. Now that you have enough, you have eaten enough, now you should make some effort.
Okay, Swami, I will, Swami.